Evening, guys.
Hello.
Well,
What's up?
sorry we're late. We did actually record this a month ago, but
You fucked up.
yes, I did. Yes, I did. I didn't check the footage, and when I got home, it was all the audio was not there. It's gone entirely. So we're now doing this. But on the plus side, to make up for July, we're doing 2 vlogs this month. We're going to be reviewing the latest Yu-Gi-Oh film, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Side Dimensions. We're also going to be reviewing, at the end of this month, we're reviewing Death Note on Netflix.
Woo!
The live-action film, which at the minute, what are our thoughts, lads? What do we think of the Death Notes from the trailers so far?
I think it's got potential.
It seems interesting. Like it's taken a different route to it. I cannot word today. I do not know how it's spoken.
I think it looks good. There's been a lot of criticism for it, but I think they've got merit to doing a different interpretation.
I like the idea of Willem Dafoe playing Ryuk. I think he's he's basically played the same character in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He looks terrifying enough. I don't think he actually needs too much makeup to make the role convincing. But
Yeah, just give him spiky hair, and that's what he
literally,
needs.
just put some hair gel, and he looks exactly the same.
The irony being that to fill sort of the new wide angle we've managed to get, I've put some of the stuff I got from Loot Anime. I got the Konosuba manga, the One Punch Man figurines, and I got this T-shirt, actually, this Trigun shirt. It's really good, and I got a couple of art prints which I haven't got on me at the minute. But one's a Fooly Cooly and one's High School DxD. Next month, very good lineup. Next month, it's called Work For It, and it's going to contain stuff from Soul Eater, Gintama, Bungo Stray Dogs, and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. So I'm really hoping that the manga is either Gintama or Bungo Stray Dogs, because I've already got the first volume of both Kobayashi and Soul Eater on manga.
I'm sure we all introduce ourselves, by the way.
Oh yes, I'm if you just joined us, I'm Calvin Acton from the Acting Film Society. I'm the Slice of Life anime expert.
I'm Reese, and I'm a resident mech guy. I'm Ren, and I'm supposedly a shonen enthusiast.
I'm Elliot Chapman, and it's time to get your game on. Or it's time to duel. Rev it up, high five the sky, ladies and gentlemen, whatever the freaky Zaku says, please help me, I need help. I'm the fantasy guy. Anyway.
We know. Also, we're not, because we're 6 months into the year. We're not doing not 6 months into the year. We're 6 weeks into.
We're more than 6 months.
We're like 6 or 7 weeks into the summer season, so we're not going to give our early recommendations because by this point, everyone's decided what they are and aren't watching right now. And more to the point, we're going to have a lot more recommendations.
So there's one I would like to mention quickly, if that's okay.
Yeah. Which one?
There's a pilot from a YouTube group that just aired last night called Indigo Ignited, which is pretty good. It stars Nate Sharp from Nate Wants to Battle, and it does actually look pretty interesting.
I'm a big Nate Wants to Battle fan.
Yeah, same. Sorry. And it's on YouTube. It's like an 8-minute long episode. I do recommend watching it because it keeps hailing itself as an anime made by Americans. Have you not heard of Ruby?
We've already had 2 this. Well, that's 2 this season then, because we also had Castlevania, which is an anime made by Americans.
Yeah.
Having half the cast of The Hobbit really helps with that one. As for everything else we're recommending, we're going to do our best of summer next month. Keep an eye out for that one. I'm really going to do a catch up because I go on holiday next month. While we're here though, big thanks to everyone who joined myself and Ren at AnimeCon, because you guys were real good fun. We were at London AnimeCon a couple of months ago, and it was just so much fun.
Really cool experience. Thank you to everybody who's helping out, everybody that we met as well,
and all the people in the hostel. It was great fun staying in the room.
I'm so sorry for my flatulence.
I'm
hoping we can move past.
Although that hostel was a bit of a hard one to live in.
Yeah, I mean, the kind of idea of battery farming with hens came to mind
because it was like there was 3 bunk beds on each. There was like 3. There was that girl whose name I won't name on camera because I don't know if she wants to. Because I don't know if she wants this broadcast all over YouTube. But she did drop her phone down the side of the bed, and it went down behind this locker, and if you didn't have the locker thing, you couldn't get through. So they had to get a maintenance guy to come in and take the whole thing apart, so she could get her phone back.
Which is quite interesting.
She was fun, yeah. And there was also my regular mate who goes there every year, who dresses up as Ace from One Piece. He's a real good laugh. But everyone there was a right good laugh. I mean, apart from when the police busted in because they didn't understand that toy knives can be part of cosplay, and they thought this guy was going to stab up the place.
Yeah.
And threaten him with a taser.
I mean, I kind of would have thought that maybe they'd be alert to the fact that there was
The police did not handle it well at all.
No.
As for me, I went to Comic-Con 2 weeks ago. It was really good. Hung out with friends. I got this T-shirt from it actually, and this ring. And quick question: where were you guys? I didn't see anyone recognize me at all. Come on, I'm a YouTube star now. Get with the times.
Oh, good, yeah, mate. We're D-list at best. You been to many cons recently, Reese?
No, I was going to Comic-Con, just couldn't afford it this year.
Well, all four of us are considering going to Anime Con together next year because to promote the vlog, but we're gonna see what's happening with that one. We're not doing Alcon this year because it's too much it's too many days at too long a distance. We don't have the money to afford it, and Axie is not going to. Yeah, go ahead, mate. You can hold that all day. Axie just isn't going to sponsor us going to 2 of these things. So we're already able to sponsor multiple vlogs this month, and we are. However, we are looking into some ideas of future plans. But we're on holiday last month, which means that Ren now has a new nickname.
Oh yeah.
Because Ren and me were going on holiday to a music festival in Germany. We went to Wacken Open Air. We had a really great time. It was a brilliant festival. We can't recommend it enough. We've already got our tickets to go back next year. But that's in Germany, which means you have to take a plane there. Which means four of us turned up at the airport. Not these two, two of other mates of ours. We all turned up. Ready to print off our boarding passes, and then Numbnuts here says, "By the way, guy, oh dear, I've forgotten my passport."
As we were at check-in, literally just checked my pockets, and I was like, "Oh, guys, I've done the stupidest thing it's possible to do,"
and he literally had to take a flight out there at the last minute. Mind you, if you had come with us, it would have been even worse for us because we missed our first connection, and which meant we were a bit late into Hamburg, which means we missed our bus, and all of our luggage went missing.
Yeah,
it was a fiasco. Though we did stay in Hamburg one night extra, and then met you up. Yeah. So we just kept calling him Passport the entire trip.
So yeah, just refer to me as Passport. You know, I'm just going to continue to refer to myself as Passport now. So
yeah, no, we should have been a tattoo. One of your tattoos.
If we get nicknames for each other, his would just be the Passport.
That's me.
And so, moving on, last time we did this and we failed, we tried to talk about our thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Our series, and we gave our best and worst duels. So let's quickly go over, what were your best and worst again?
Well, not choosing the Yugi versus the Tem. My best one was Yugi versus Joey 2.
Yugi versus Joey 2?
My favourite one, just through sheer volume of watching, was probably Weevil Underwood versus Yugi in the first round of Duels Kingdom.
That's a good one.
Just because I watched it loads.
I was stuck between two, but I've decided my favourite is Joey versus Marek.
Yeah, I'm close. I was close to choosing Joey versus Marek, but I picked what? I actually, do you know what? I actually went back over these and I thought one of the big saving graces of season 3 with the Noah arc was Yugi versus Noah. As bad as that arc is, that duel is very good because it does seem almost impossible victory, and he does seem to pull it out of nowhere.
It does seem mostly just like God literally blessed his duel disc.
Yeah, though that was the weak point. It was that weak ending. So I think I'd probably have to go for Yugi versus Kaiba 2 because that was so back and forth.
In the Battle City one.
The Battle City one, yeah. That's
yeah.
Yugi Kaiba 3, yeah. If we don't count Pyramid of Light, so. And we agreed, we had different opinions on what the best scene was, but we all agreed Zexel is by far the worst.
Hell yeah. Wait, we didn't say what our worst duels was, though.
I think the worst duel for me was probably... I think most of the duels in Season 3 were pretty bad. Because Season 3 had... these guys were on par with championship duelists, and...
They're just a bunch of businessmen.
Well, how they learned the game? In fact, they didn't even duel them when they were in that virtual video game before. They just sort of
It just sort of went. Here's a big dragon, kill it.
So, what was your worst duel, Reese?
Mine was Yuma versus the tomato guy. I can't remember the name
The
of.
tomato guy.
Oh, yeah, no.
And let's pray you never remember it. That duel was awful.
Attack of the killer tomatoes!
Yeah, it was
Like-
boring, horrendous.
Seriously, the only thing I actually seen that's even more ridiculous than that is that there is a toilet-based deck in Future Card Buddy Fight. I wish I was joking.
Yeah, anyone who gives shit for Leo's fairy tale deck can officially jump off a bridge, because that is just a
Wait, is that sorry again?
You mean Luna?
no, the one in the Grand Championship arc about the fairy tale cards.
Oh, yeah.
Tale cards, because that if you're saying that deck was worse now, you can shut up, because that was well worse.
Yeah.
What was your worst duel, Elliot?
Mine for me, honestly, well, apart from his, because he's already picked it, is the first duel between Yugi and Bakura, because I just thought it's just a way of establishing a friendship. It wasn't a very good duel anyway.
Although it did actually sort of convince us once and for all there were two Yugis.
Yeah, it also but I mean, we saw the Spirit of the Millennium Ring, which is an awesome villain, and I think it's just a crap way of introducing him.
We'll get more into detail on that when we actually get around to reviewing the film we were meant to review.
Yeah.
It's yeah. If you're still hanging on, wondering where the review is, I've installed time. I had to install a time skip because we wanted to get a few information out.
We're
of the way.
getting there, all right.
What was your worst one, Ren?
My worst one was probably my versus Joey in Jules Kingdom.
Yeah, because that was the stupidest method.
Yeah, so she's supposed to perfume all of her cards, which means she can tell what the top card of her deck is.
Surely, though, that all the perfume would just make it to one thing.
That's exactly it. I don't know how. First of all, she didn't choke on the fumes, and second of all, how she was able to decide between which of the smells was to each different card. Like, she must have like an incredible sense of smell.
I think if I was to pick one duel for the worst one, I'd have to pick something from season 3, because it makes no sense that these business suits were just as good as some of these championship duels. But I think I'd have to pick of the ones. I think I'd have to pick.
Taya versus the penguin guy?
I was close to picking Taya versus Krunk, but I'm actually going to pick. Yeah, no, seriously, that's his name.
Yeah, the abridged series did that much, but we're going.
I think I'd have to pick Tristan, Serenity, and Duke versus the Machine Guy, because that was just painful to watch, and it's just you're just watching Serenity be useless for half of it, and you're like, oh god, please just.
Yeah, and then it's mostly just to like we say, hey, Tristan lied to Serenity, and you just think, oh, good god.
Because we were all so invested in this love triangle.
Yeah, like everyone cared about this. Nobody cared about the love between Taya and Yugi. No way.
It just sort of reinforced to me that Serenity had literally no reason to be there. She just exists to be Joey's motivation.
I mean, she was a good motivation in the first series, but not.
And even the second season, kind of to an extent, because he nearly gives up on the duel, and he nearly gives up a couple of times before Serenity reminds him what he needs to do.
She has no purpose now.
She has no real character either. She really doesn't have a character.
She's basically just a damsel in distress for Duke and Tristan to fight over.
Yeah. So that duel really highlighted it. So moving on, Dark Side Dimensions. It came out on Blu-ray a couple of months ago. We were meant to review it just around the time it came out. We're a bit late, but so let's review this baby. Give our thoughts on it. So let's start. No spoilers. So Reese, your thoughts. No spoilers. What do you think of the film?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I knew what you were going to say, but I thought I'd go with that anyway. You really enjoyed it. What was the real without going to spoilers? What did you really like about it?
Well, aside from the duels, I really like the character stuff between like Kaiba and Atem, and how I was being motivated for him. And
we're trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible.
Because it's very difficult with this film.
Yeah.
Despite the fact this is the longest of all the Yu-Gi-Oh films.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, all the others come in about an hour and a half. This one comes in at 2 hours.
Yeah, and also how it was a really good epilogue for a lot of the characters as well.
Yeah, that's something I got from this film. It's a very big extended epilogue to the series. Elliot, what's your thoughts?
Friggin' brilliant. One of the best things to come out of the original Yu-Gi-Oh. I would say as you said, the characters were really good. I think they had a really, really good conclusion. There were some problems, but the best Yu-Gi-Oh movie, I'd say, though it doesn't really have much competition.
Right, Rennie boy.
Yeah, I'll sort of echo Elliot on that one. I mean, while enjoyable when compared to the rest of the Yu-Gi-Oh films, like again, not a massive amount of competition.
Judgment Dragon.
It good film, enjoyable, and like showcase some of the best parts of the characters. Of the best characters even, because Kaiba is flawless. There's nothing better than Kaiba in that film.
Kaiba's the best Yu-Gi-Oh character. Period.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to echo all of you guys. This is probably one of the biggest. I've watched a lot of films this year. This has been one of the biggest surprises all year for me, because it's so good. And I was so surprised because I was expecting it to be a very middling film. I thought, I was okay, but really they didn't.
Wait, we meant to do like best character arc, the best arcs as well in the original series.
Oh, no, never mind. We'll get round to that later.
We'll do that afterwards, I guess.
But with Dark Side Dimensions, I just thought it was a fantastic film. I really enjoyed everything about it. There's a couple of nitpicks to have, really. Let's be honest, but considering how it could have gone, I think it's bloody brilliant. Yeah. So, try and not go to spoiler territory. One of the things I liked about this was there was so many duels.
Yeah. The duels were really good as well.
Which, compare with films with Pyramid of Light, which only had about 2 duels.
One of them wasn't going to be considered a duel.
3 if you want to be very, very pedantic.
Oh yeah.
Bonds Beyond Time only had 2, and 1.5 really. And
wait, it had the half one?
Yeah, that one between Paradox and Yusei.
At the beginning. I mean.
But I just Bonds Beyond Time. I actually say I had a hard time deciding which is the worst of the Yu-Gi-Oh films. I think I'd go with Pyramid of Light.
I would go for Bonds Beyond Time, honestly.
I know Bonds Beyond Time is basically a fan fiction with a budget, but at least Bonds Beyond Time at least felt like there was some attempt to make something great for the 10th anniversary, whereas Pyramid of Light just feels like a complete cash-in.
I mean, I think we all know what Pyramid of Light is.
It's an advert.
An advertisement for cards. It's a big reason why, like, Dark Magician was only a sacrifice in it.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, brought a Dark Magician girl, then Dark Magician, then went, I sacrificed it too. You sacrificed one of the most iconic monsters next to Blue Eyes.
And then the Blue Eye Shine Dragon, which is a card so difficult to summon that no one who actually knew how to play the game would actually keep one in their deck.
Yeah, even Kaiba didn't keep it in his deck.
Yeah, no, either that or he was mugged off. Either that or Illnation was right and he got mugged off screen.
In that case, that'll be a very happy yet disappointed little boy.
Actually, one of the things without again not going to spoil territory, one of the things I didn't really appreciate with this film was Mokuba's weird redesign. The one character's redesign is really appalling.
It is very, very odd, I will admit.
Anyone disagree with me on that one?
Nope.
I honestly can't remember what he was like beforehand, to be honest. I just remember as irritating and...
he's the other one who always gets kidnapped.
Right.
He plays a poker game with Princess Peach and April O'Neil and Geordie from Star Trek every week. The one thing I will also say about this film is it's actually got the length of time to tell a proper story. That's what I liked about it. The 2-hour runtime is very necessary. So, and I actually thought, where can you go with the characters past the events of the final episode? Because I thought the final episode was a perfect finale, but I actually think this epilogue actually really works well in the long run. But if I'm honest, though, there were a couple of niggling points I had with this one. So, are we going to go into spoiler territory now?
I think we're okay.
Let's do spoilers.
Spoiler wall.
This is a spoiler wall. Go to the description box below, and I'll tell you when we get out of the spoiler territory. But our final thoughts are, we all really like it. Go out and buy it. It's freaking fantastic.
Yeah, if you haven't watched and don't want spoilers, watch it!
Okay, so so we're in spoilers. Kaiba's the best thing about this film.
Oh, hell yeah!
100%.
Kaiba is amazing in it!
Because I kind of thought, well, what's his motivation to be back? Because he's kind of got everything he wants. He's kind of accepted that all this ancient Egypt magic is real.
as sort of shown in the final scene of the film where he actually.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he finally accepted the end of the season, but now he's feeling deflated because
He never actually beat the Pharaoh.
he never beat a Tem. Yeah, which I think is I actually didn't really like that part initially because I thought, but that kind of defeats what he said at the end of the last episode because he said I truly believe that he truly believed that Yugi was the true king of games and was the one that was the worthiest.
Yeah.
He does say it out loud. He says he is the true king of games. He did the one thing I couldn't. He beat all the god cards at once.
Yeah. The funny thing I actually thought is, why would Kaiba want to beat the Pharaoh when Yugi beat Atem?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Just try to beat Yugi and you'll be stronger than Atem.
I think it's because but then it goes into the sort of thing that it's not just the fact that Yugi beat Atem. It's the fact that Atem was the only one that really challenged him. He doesn't get that sense with Yugi because Yugi was never the one really dueling him. So I think he doesn't feel that sense of rivalry with Yugi as he did with Atem. That's what I liked about it. And they sort of that simulated duel was actually pretty good because actually the one time Dan Green actually voices the Atem in the entire film. Yeah, and don't go into this expecting the Pharaoh to be in it a lot. He's only in it about.
Like he's in it for one duel and then for a bit at the end.
Yeah, he's shown, but his only voice lines are actually in simulation. I think.
Yeah, he doesn't get any. He actually makes it. That was one of my big problems with this film. I actually think it was quite good to see the Pharaoh, but I think this film would have been just as fine if we never saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it had been, they had to. I was actually kind of like, I'm glad they accepted the fact the Pharaoh hadn't come back, and I thought, how does all this power still exist? I thought the end of Yu-Gi-Oh kind of suggested the shadow magic had been prevented from returning because of their actions, and which makes me weird why the Millennium Ring still has power because the Millennium Ring turns back up in this.
And wasn't he like vanished to the Shadow Realm or something afterwards?
Yeah, he was deader than dead by the end of Yu-Gi-Oh. That guy.
Yeah. He was down in hell, and his butthole was being used as a suggestion box.
They don't even refer to him as Zork in this one, which I assume the Spirit of the Ring is either the Spirit of the Ring was trying to release Zork the Dark One, or he was Zork the Dark One. I never quite got that.
In this one, he didn't really have too much motivation apart from destroy the world.
And even Dimension. I must admit though, I did like the new villain who's on. You'll probably see him on the front cover of the album. Diva. I don't want to move the. I don't want to move the DVD.
I'll go get mine then.
It won't prop and it won't fall down. There we go.
So you can probably see him on the front cover.
He's there. He's sort of behind.
The new villain. He's one of the. I'm going to say this right now. I actually think he's one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh villains to date.
He's a real. Like something I really like about is that he's not just evil. He's actually kind of cynical as well.
But what I've always felt the sort of tragic. Whenever Yu-Gi-Oh tries to do tragic villains, they fail miserably.
But this one, he actually did.
The only other time it's worked for this was Pegasus, but even then, he was acting like a villain for the sake of a villain till the.
Kaiba boy, Yugi boy,
Kaiba boy.
The one thing about him is I like the fact that, and even after he sort of turned good, he was still acting a bit like a villain.
Yeah, it's good. However, it's good to see that his personality hadn't completely rewired.
But one of the things about again, he was meant to actually die originally. He was meant to die.
Yeah, it's fun. In the original series, no joke, both Bandit Keith and Pegasus actually die.
Yeah, the
That's
problem.
4 kids.
Actually, I think that's one attempt where the 4 kids actually got it right. Well, obviously they must have come back somehow in the anime.
I'm actually quite surprised with 4 kids. They actually imply that Bakura pulled out Pegasus's eye.
The one thing that bothered me about this film was Joey.
Yeah.
He has no reason. He only has a brief reason to be there, and I wanted to see him kind of rise up and take a position.
It's a big thing showing off like the secondary cast, and with a character that's as likable and as big a part of the main series
Brooklyn
as Joey.
Rage.
Then he didn't get a single duel in the entire film.
I would have liked Joey to just suddenly get in there. I think his motivation is he wants to be a professional duelist.
But we never see any of that.
Yeah.
I honestly, if they want to do any more sort of an extended epilogue, I'd like to see Joey get his own spin-off series.
Actually, I actually do have another problem, which is a lot of the interaction with Yugi and his friends are boring.
Yeah.
They just feel like filler. They have no reason to happen.
Until Diva shows his true colours, they have no real motivation.
No.
Yeah, they just kind of all hang around together and stuff like that.
With Diva, he's got a really good backstory, has really good motivation for why he wants to do what he does. He's the most sympathetic of all the Yu-Gi-Oh villains, and they actually do it right for once. I mean, when they try to do, say, the Schroders in the Grand Championship arc, who are, by the way, the worst villains in the Yu-Gi-Oh! The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Incarnation.
Even worse than Noah, and he's just a whiny bitch boy.
But at least Noah had believable motivation. It was like, and a decent plan. What the hell was up with the Schroders plan? Like, we'll sneak into a tournament, play a card that will hack all the system, and then what? So Kaiba's out of business. Why are they suddenly not going to say, we'll give Kaiba Corp extended time to get their shit together? No, we must all swap to this company that we all got rid of miles back, who are using technology that's behind the times.
Yes, sure. Come on. If you're as brilliant as Seto Kaiba, then you will sort this crap out.
They try to make those two sympathetic villains, and they only really managed it with Leo. They didn't manage it with Siegfried. And, oh, by the way, call him Siegfried Lloyd. Ha ha ha, real funny. I hate when they try to do puns in Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually, one thing I'll say, so Diva, he has a good backstory of the orphan children, although it does say why the hell Shardy didn't mention half of this shit to Atem when they were having their conversation. That was amazing.
Yeah, just, by the way, I have a bunch of children who may kill you. Bye!
I'm training these kids up to potentially be the new guardians of the Millennium Items. Wait, what? Bye.
And also something. Also, they might kill you. Oh, there's my taxi. See ya.
I will say this film actually. The thing about this film is I think they actually they're aware of the Abridged series. Someone the scriptwriter is definitely aware of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
Abridged.
they actually something they did, which is something I cannot believe, is they actually make fun of Yugi's hair.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of my favorite lines. After the simulation, Kaiba says, I've programmed his strategies, his moves, even his, for some reason, straight up hair. In fact, that was the most difficult to program.
That's the part that took the longest.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can tell he just spent 7 hours a day on his hair.
Yeah.
You've got to wonder how the scientists that corporation, whether they think, oh Christ, what is he doing?
Make his hair.
They can apparently defy physics, it would seem. So.
Why make a massive space station in the sky? Why do we need it? We're a games company.
Card games, you don't understand card games, man.
Oh, just
here's a new duel that manifests reality.
Did you not hear my theme song from the Pyramid of Light? Because you're not me.
Yeah. Why do we need to do that? Because only space can hold my ego.
There's definitely a large degree of tongue-in-cheek.
But at the same time, it doesn't seem like Kaiba's gone backwards on his character development.
He is still just as amazing as he is. As he says, no one is better than Seto Kaiba.
So we have several duels. We have Yuki and Kaiba. Even that was a good duel.
That was an amazing duel.
And he's saying, look, as much as we both want the Pharaoh to come back, the power's gone.
And Kaiba's still like, please. He's just afraid of me. He's still kind of in his delusion.
I don't think it's delusion. I think it's more his want blinding him to.
Yeah, he just has a proper desire to do them again.
It's interesting because, like I'm saying before about how he hasn't gone back on his character, I don't think there's any times that Kaiba actually hesitates during the film. Even in the finale, in the final duel against
Diva, when it's Yugi and Diva versus actually it's Diva possessed by the Millennium Ring, because the Millennium Ring comes back for some reason.
Yeah,
who the hell knows?
Yeah,
and the spirit's still alive for some strange reason.
Which results in a slight retcon to Bakura's backstory, because it's he said before in the series that his father got it from a stall or something.
Instead he said, "Oh, my father died getting it."
So
what a bugger that is.
Yes. Why are they still making out I'm British?
They even made fun of it in the movie, saying he's surrounded by girls. Just say the accent gets him every time.
Yeah, I can say being to America, that is true. The weird thing, the thing about Bakura though is he's just he's actually kind of interesting for once in this film. I think the Mika version of him is actually interesting for once. Although was he actually? Did any of you guys read the manga?
No.
I think I read a bit of it.
Because was he British in the manga?
I have no idea.
It's very difficult to read a British accent.
Yeah, but they might make a reference to the fact he's from London or something, or because of course outside of the UK in fiction, if it's not written in the UK, everyone in Britain lives in London or Scotland.
Yeah.
Or Ireland.
Yeah, no, Wales doesn't exist in fiction.
Yeah.
Unless it's written in the UK.
Wales. Oh yeah, we've heard of that. That's the fish thing, right? Things
Yeah.
right.
I liked the Kyber and Diva duel. That was a good way to start things off.
Yeah.
I liked.
The inclusion of the new way of dueling as well. What was it?
The dimension dueling, which that made no real sense to me.
It was confusing.
It was a little bit confusing, but I kind of got the hang of it towards the end. They kind of had to build it up. Although I don't understand how Kyber managed to somehow summon Obelisk to torment
Yeah,
her.
I mean, the funny
yeah.
and the funny thing is, he's never brought up again.
Yeah,
if you have the power to summon Obelisk, surely you would do that in duel against Yugi.
I'm sorry, this is another very good case of screw the rules, I have money. He had 5 monsters on the field at the time, and then summoned Obelisk, and he's like, "What the hell? You've got 5 monsters. You can't summon a god."
I can't wait to see
No, because his explanation was, "This isn't a monster card. It's a god." And apparently, a god is now a field
It's
card.
not a monster. It's a card. I don't care. You're breaking the rules.
I can't wait for the abridged version of this
it's
film.
gonna be so good. Wait a minute. Did you summon a monster while you still have 6 on? Yeah. So that's against the rules, isn't it? Screw the rules. I have holograms.
Yeah, that's another thing they're gonna have to try and retcon for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Where did all this technology go by the time we get to GX? Because they don't actually. I think GX is still in continuity.
I'll tell you what happened. I think it's because. Well, can we talk about the ending where he goes?
Yeah, let's talk about the ending.
Yeah, so he goes to the dual dimension. I think maybe he brought the dual disc with him. No, because it had already been started to be sold by then.
Joe was trying to get a copy of it.
And Yugi he gave Yugi one.
Yeah, true.
Maybe again, Yugi got mugged off screen by the Schroders.
Yeah, I think that must have been the Schroders have a big part to play in retcon history. It's a good scene.
One thing I would say I did really like as well was all the cards in it, like the other movies that advertisements, the cards don't entirely work. They all actually did really work in this. Like we had extensions for the Blue Eyes and Magician decks.
And Reese and Elliot were having a duel before we recorded this vlog, and Elliot was using a lot of the Magician cards that, she was like Chocolate Magician Girl and...
Apple Magician Girl, the Magician Girl. He beat me, of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
With Mobius the Frost model.
I'll get you, eventually. Even if it takes 7,000 duels, I will beat you.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. But he kind of uses technology to sort of screw the rules and go to the dimension, and you could just tell Tim's face is like, well, I can safely say I didn't see this one coming.
Yeah, you just kind of spend and go, oh god, I thought I was done with this asshole.
Hi, Kyber, what do you want?
I want a duel. Kyber, we're in ancient Egypt.
You literally time traveled, dimension hopped to get here to challenge me to a card game.
The funny thing is, what if he lost?
Yeah.
What if he lost? I created all this for no reason.
I mean, kudos to Kyber for not already having an existential crisis over all the shit that he's seen. But if he loses this duel, I think that might just top the cake and he might just kill himself.
I think, he must make it back, because again, he sets up Duel Academy in GX, so he must make it back somehow.
Well, actually, he said Mokuba's in charge, so maybe Mokuba set up Duel Academy.
Yeah, but he does that deal with Chaz's brothers in that match. Chaz takes on his brothers, and he's only allowed to use cards with up to 500 attack point.
God, it's been ages since I saw GX.
Oh, and he meets the guy. What's his name? The one who was all about light.
The Way of Light guy.
Sartorius or something?
So like Sartorius or something like that, yeah. He has a meeting with him and he says, oh, you haven't aged today. Yeah, we blame lazy character design. We couldn't be bothered to give him facial hair or make him a little bit taller. Seriously, so Yuki and all the others age, but yeah, he doesn't. Actually, that's another
I am a god!
Actually, that's one of the other bad duels. Yugi versus the guy impersonating Yugi.
Oh, you mean Jaden?
Jaden versus the guy impersonating Yugi. Yeah, that one.
Demetrius.
Dimitri, that's the one. Because it kind of took it meant that there wasn't as much of a pizzazz when they finally did face each other, because we'd already seen those cards.
Yeah, the one difference was we actually saw the King of Games dueling himself.
But that being said, as much as I felt the final fight was a bit of a cop out, I kind of like the ending of Diva being reunited with everyone.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not. I am glad it's.
Again,
just go back.
Again, much better than the way they did Darts.
Oh yeah.
Christ, Darts. Darts was a bad villain. Whatever you think of that season, Darts was a bad villain.
Amelie, though, I'll get to that later, actually.
Waking the Dragons, I think Waking the Dragons, I know a lot of people rather like it, but for me it was just kind of like, oh, for God's sake, this is taking up so much time. I know there's a ton of character development for a TEM, but get to the point already. I want to get up. We've been doing this for so long. It's like we've had there's so many filler seasons in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
Way too many filler scenes.
You know my thoughts on that season, though.
I know you like it a lot, but...
It's my favourite season in the series.
I know, but really, when you think about it, it didn't contribute much at all to the actual fight. And by itself, it's pretty good, all things considered, but it needed a better villain than Darts.
Yeah, Darts wasn't a good villain. And merely, none of the villains were really too good. Just like the backstory to
I quite like Raphael.
Yeah.
However, it makes... It is a little confused. I don't know.
So let's. It's not the worst season in my opinion. The worst season, if you took the character arcs of the original Yu-Gi-Oh, I still think the worst is either the Noah arc or the Grand Championship arc. In fact, the Grand Championship because that really nothing happened in that arc.
Neither of them had any purpose, though.
Neither of them had any purpose, but at least you felt like something was being accomplished with
Actually,
Noah arc because we got some character development for Kyber and some decent duels.
Actually, I think I remember someone saying that the Grand Championship wasn't even in the manga.
No, it's not. It's from what I gathered. Noah's arc's at least in the manga. This says no. So that's all that good stuff. So I'm running out of things to say about this film. It's just really damn good.
Yeah.
As much as we're nitpicking it, we all kind of really enjoyed it as a whole.
Yeah, we just these aren't like movie destroying flaws. They're just little tiny ones
that if it had ironed out, they'd been perfect.
Yeah.
If it had a little bit of ironing out, it would have been perfect. But as it is, I could potentially put this in my 10 best films of the year. I'm not sure I would at this point because there've been so many great films this year, like Wonder Woman and Logan.
Yeah. My favourite film of the year is Dunkirk, but this is definitely very up there.
Yeah, I just went and saw that.
I saw that over the weekend, actually.
Anime, not films. Let's keep
save it for the Film
guys.
Society.
Stay on topic.
You can read the reviews online as well.
Stay on topic.
Yeah, well, if you want my thoughts on Dunkirk, I'm pretty sure they're on my Twitter account somewhere, or they're on the Axia Film Society site, which I've reviewed a bit ago. I thought it was good, but not great. It's the best way to describe it. It wasn't as great a character piece as I was hoping it'd be.
As you can tell, we are very, very focused.
We're very professional around here, but with this film, I really properly enjoyed it. I would like to see an epilogue about Joey because I want to see the Joey that made Pegasus say he was one of his 5 best duelists ever.
With tweaks, this film would I don't think this film would have had many flaws at all. But the only ones that we did have that I think any of us found with it were minor. I mean, comparative with the series, it was really good.
I mean, Joey, for example, he had great motivation the first 2 seasons. The problem with Joey is he becomes less of a great character when he has no real motivation.
So if anyone from who created Yu-Gi-Oh is there, number 1, hi. Number 2, please have me dubbed Yuzaku. I'm pretty sure it would be a good role. And 3, please make something on Joey. We would really like that. And make him have a Red Eyes deck. Okay. Red Eyes decks are friggin' awesome.
Yeah. So that's our thoughts on that one. Let's get back to... we were meant to do our best arcs. What was the best arc for you, Reese?
The Dark Sires in 5Ds.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was a really good one. Really good villain.
That was really
good. And that was a really great way to conclude it. Ren, which one you like? Duelist Kingdom?
Duelist Kingdom was mine because again that was the only one that I really watched religiously as a kid, and I forgot about this until the other day. But I had like a load of friends around from my primary school when I was a kid to do a sort of Duelist Kingdom-esque thing, and that was really cool. So for that reason.
I actually seen the first episode so many times. I know the duel between Yugi and Kaiba off by heart.
it's when you get to that stage where you can just quote it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
Oh god,
I've already mentioned mine is the Waking the Dragons one because I liked the backstory for Atem and I thought the threat was actually really damning us to the point where Atem was the only one left.
I think I'm going to go for Battle Sea. Battle Sea was the one where I felt like everything came together, everything was perfect, had a great amount of duels, great amount of fun. Just everything was really done really well in that season. I'm saying that I'm including everything that happened after the Noah arc. I'm saying the Battle Sea arc stopped that and then starts up again after the end of the Noah arc.
Yeah, the city finals were the highlight for that series, I would say.
Yeah, especially that 4-man duel between Yugi, Merrick, Kyber, and Joey. That was a really great
As
duel.
I said, the duel between Merrick and Joey, my favorite.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Mostly
as well.
just because I thought they were so close.
I think they could have had Joey beat Merrick and still had a match against the Pharaoh. I think there was ways of doing it without Joey losing that match.
What I mentioned this last time when you fucked up. But something I was kind of like to do was Joey would beat Merrick but got so corrupted by the God card, and so he ended up being the antagonist. Again, we did kind of do that.
That would just been a repeat of their earlier match, really.
Yeah.
In that season, for me, it would have been. Merrick would have forced himself into the final despite being beaten and refused to hand over the God card.
We forgot to include it before, but end of spoilers, I think, by the way, for the film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good point.
We're not even talking about the film.
Yeah, no, I know, yeah, just you know.
So I think that's all our thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh. So
wait, what about the worst arcs?
we already did the worst arcs before that.
Did we?
We
did worst duels.
Yeah, no, I think we all agreed Zexal was the worst.
Yeah, Zexal collectively is the worst.
Season 2 is awful. I've already mentioned it to you, but the twist is really bad.
If we were just counting the first incarnation of Yu-Gi-Oh, because that's kind of the major thing we're talking about at the minute, I'll also say the arc with Jesse and all that in GX was pretty bad.
Oh yeah.
But if we would just count this incarnation of Yu-Gi-Oh, the Dark Side Dimensions is based on, which one would you call the worst?
Noah arc.
You go Noah?
Yeah, I'd probably go Noah as well.
Honestly, couldn't say.
As much as I want to say Noah because it's pretty bad, I think I'd go with Grand Championship. As I've already mentioned, I think Noah, something was accomplished with that one. You had some good character development for Kaiba, around his stepfather and all that. It just didn't make that much sense, and it was a bit weird. I like the fact they did the Deckmaster dueling systems, which is like Commander in Magic the Gathering, yeah.
But even though it never caught on.
It never really caught on, unfortunately. I would have liked it to have caught on because
that would be pretty cool.
Because that's the one thing, and I quite like Grand Championship. There was barely any. I like the fact there was a variety of duelists in this one that we got, but Yugi hardly has a point to be there. He doesn't really do much. There's only, in fact, Atem's only in 3 duels, and one of them's half off screen.
The only main reason why I didn't say Grand Championship because I can't remember anything about it. It's just so forgettable.
But do you go with the one where you remember it more, but it was really bad, or do you say it was a bit better, but it was more forgettable? By being forgettable, does that make it worse?
Honestly, I would still go with the Noah arc.
Yeah, but that's the other thing about the Grand Championship. I would always say if you're forgettable, it's better to be bad and memorable than mediocre and forgotten.
Yeah.
So that's really our thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh. So Jonathan, we're probably going to sign off from this one.
Yeah. Should I say a little bit about the Magic?
Yes. Ren's going to be starting his own Magic YouTube channel soon.
So as part of obviously the Axia Film Society and for the post-diagnostic support group that we run, we do this vlog, but then also I'm going to start doing a sort of Magic the Gathering one, reviewing new products and doing a few gameplay videos if we can.
Yeah, I'm going to be joining him a couple of times.
Absolutely, get special guests on. Obviously, everyone here is more than welcome.
And, he's going to destroy me. I've already recently played it.
Yeah, man.
But I really would check out as soon as Ren comes. We'll mention a name when Ren comes up with a catchy title for it.
Hell yeah.
But next month on Anime, you are sticking around for Anime Amigos, as you told me. We're gonna be next. We're not next month. We're gonna be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So much of us.
Although myself,
you're gonna be sick of us by the end of it.
Although I will say, we may be doing a couple of mini ones. I might be doing a mini one on my thoughts on the fact that Archie Comics has dropped Sonic the Hedgehog, so I'm kind of interested to see where IDW goes, and I'm probably going to be reviewing I'm probably going to be reviewing in the future when the IDW series comes out. I'm going to be reviewing every issue of Sonic the Hedgehog IDW. So see how it compares to Archie Sonic series, which is one of my all-time favorite comic series. So we're going to be, but that's in the near future. In 2 weeks' time, we're back. We're reviewing. All 4 of us will definitely be back.
Yep. Oh yeah.
We're going to be reviewing the Netflix Death Note movie, which we've already said our thoughts on what we're thinking about it. We are very excited to see it. We'll see you guys next time.
We'll be talking a bit about the normal Death Note as well, right?
Oh yes, obviously. We're going to be comparing the series to the film. It's going to be almost impossible for the 4 of us to not compare it to.
I think it's safe to say we're all going to be quite passionate on the subject. So
Yes, although
I know I am.
although Ren, you said it's been a while since you actually saw the series.
Yeah, well, it was. I think it was like the fourth or something. Fourth anime I watched.
But
like,
it really sticks in your head when you
There
see
were
it.
so many memorable parts.
Actually, fun fact for me, it was the first.
Oh, really?
It was the first anime I ever watched.
So you're really going to be interested.
I am really going to be interested, yeah.
No, I remember I watched the entire season with in a space of about a week, and I didn't.
Same. That's right.
I did not want to put it down.
Yeah,
It was
it's so difficult. Once
It's
you've
very,
watched.
very
it's
good.
very gripping. So we'll be back with Death Note next month. Hopefully I won't have to write Adam Wingard. It's being directed by Adam Wingard. Hopefully I won't have to write his name in my Death Note. I'm bringing it along though.
Same. I'll be bringing mine. In case any of you betray me.
Which is, I mind you, I'm probably going in for saying Waking the Dragons wasn't that good.
Maybe.
Maybe that's where Chris Jericho got the List of Jericho idea from. You just made the list!
Alrighty then.
Only want to watch professional wrestling. See you guys next time.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.